What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 750 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. KB, Intern Jacob, duo show for you. Harrison's getting ready to fly cross country to go watch his brother graduate at the University of Oregon. Quack, quack, go Ducks. So he'll be back when he gets back from Oregon. But Jacob and I will be holding it down. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about on this episode. From the Phillies, they must have listened to the pod. They take 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies. Showed a lot of gumption there, winning that series. We'll talk about that and everything on deck against the Blue Jays. We'll do a little underground stats and info for the people. The Eagles signed Jahad Campbell today, and Jeffrey Lurie making his mark as the best owner in the NFL. And it ain't all that close. Okay, it's not all that close. We'll talk about Jeffrey Lurie's awesome next venture in terms of the Eagles Autism Challenge and just his initiatives with autism that got announced this week. Seems like the Sixers might have a new player on their radar for the NBA draft. We'll talk a little draft rumors swirling around. Plus, this coming weekend, we got another live show at Villanova University. Throw them V's up. How the Nova Knicks done. We got PLL Philly on Friday and Saturday. We got a live show on Saturday in between game 1 and 2 from the Premier Zone in Philly. Going to be a ton of fun. Water Dogs homecoming weekend for the people. We'll talk a little Water Dogs homecoming weekend as well to send us into their double header weekend. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform, so give us a follow wherever you consume your social medias. You can subscribe to the pod, and one more time for good measure. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Plus, it helps all of our shows on the network continue to grow and get more eyes and ears on the podcast. And of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,074 subscribers, which means we are, quick math, 26 away from our next big subscriber milestone of 1,100. So keep on subscribing. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And guys, of course, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland municipal calendar features city organized, city sponsored, and city affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the city of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Phillies fans everywhere. The boys did it. They listened to us live from Ritas and Sewell and said, you know what? The boys are right. We got to turn this thing around. We got to gut check ourselves, and we got to take 2 out of 3 from the Chicago Cubs once again. You win the season series against the Cubs. That's huge in terms of tiebreakers, in terms of a whole massive series win. Boys came to play, and on top of that, they finished with a brilliant day game at Citizens Bank Park today. 7-2 win over the Cubbies. They win on Monday as well. Final score 4-3 in beautiful walk-off fashion. And, I mean, needless to say, a very, very, very impressive series. I couldn't have asked for much more other than a sweep, obviously, but as we've said on this show, Jacob, even before you've been on the show and since you've joined, win 2 out of 3. Win a series, you're good to go. I'll take a series win any chance we can get one, and to get a series win against a very good Cubs team, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, no complaints. Like I said, it's a wear your nuts at series, and we got it done. Everyone put it up. I mean, everyone did their thing. Schwarber had a bomb today. We needed a Schwarber bomb in June. He had one in Pittsburgh, but that led to an L, so does it really count? No. Bomer, I have a raging Bomer. Yes, I do. He's matching right now, batting 283, and 3 hits, or 2 hits one night. Amazing. JT actually looking good for once. I love it. Casty had a triple today, and he's, in my opinion, the slowest guy there. He's slower than probably Schwarber sometimes.
It's so funny how he can just grind out a triple every so often.
Yeah. That was kind of a weird triple. It hit off like the top wall, went left, but you know what? We're not complaining.
He's one of those guys, though, that I feel like, and we love Nick Castellanos. I forget if I've told you this. The Castellanos family listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
We are very entrenched with the Castellanos family. Like Nick's mom, his wife, his brother, all follow us and or listen to the pod and have since 2021, which is when Nick was on the Reds.
Yes.
So shout out to the Castellanos family.
Big Nick.
Big Dick Nick, baby.
Yep.
But Nick he's like one of those guys that while he's not the fastest like runner on the bases, you know when he's gonna get a triple.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but when Nick is running, you kind of like see it in his stride. Like you know when he's gonna just, have a typical like base hit because of whatever the hit is and how it falls. You can kind of tell when he has a double, like it makes sense that he squares out a double there. But when Nick hits a triple, like
you put the
and it's either a close call or it's like a no doubt about it. Like you see it in his stride almost. Like his legs just get longer than they already are, and he's got long legs. But like you see it, like he almost takes like an extra half step every stride that he takes, and you're like, "Yep, that's a triple from Nick." It's weird to explain, and if you're just listening on audio, I don't know how well that conveys, but like it's like a weird feeling you get in your stomach that you're like, "Yep, that's a Nick Castellanos triple, no doubt about it."
Still the best running form is Kyle Schwarber. I don't care what.
Oh yeah, he runs like Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Whatever he wants, as long as he hits short bombs.
Literally, I mean, slow start for him. When he got called up in Pittsburgh, but like Otto Kemp looks like he's finding his swing.
Yeah, he's looking solid.
AAA, like 1 for 4 today, scored a run. He looks good, and it sounds like he's gonna be playing first base moving forward for the time being, which I'm totally fine with. I hate when they move Bohm to first because Bohm is just a much better fielding third baseman than he is first baseman. And I'm cool with like Kemp getting an opportunity to play, first base, let him, stay in the lineup. And he doesn't have to hit, at the top of the lineup, like hit him 8th, hit him 7th, wherever it fits, depending on who the starting pitcher is that day from the opposing team. But like, if he's going to hit at the bottom of the lineup, that's big. And we talked about that, on Sunday when we were at Rita's. Like, this team needs production from all ends of the lineup, not just the top guys, not just Trey Turner, going 2 for 2 today with a walk, 3 total at bats, and like Schwarber hitting the home run at the top of the lineup, Bohm going 2 for 4 with 4 RBI and had the home run to cap off the game. that's production at the top of the lineup, but you also need it at the bottom of the lineup. And like today, everybody except Johan Rojas had at least one hit. So like that's production across the board. And, Luzardo, been a big question after his past couple starts. Like, is he okay? Is he healthy? Like, is there something going on? Look back to the good old Jesus Luzardo that he was to start the season before these last two starts. Before this one, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. It just makes me so frustrated that they kept him in that one game and it ballooned his ERA to where, like, I don't know if he can ever bring it back down, but
Definitely
he looked
can.
good. Lazar pitched 2 innings, and I think, was it the most productive 2 innings? Not necessarily, but 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout. But if you can get with the current state of the Phillies bullpen, if you can get multiple innings from a guy like Max Lazar to where he's only giving up 1 run and only giving up 3 hits, to me, that's a win. For a guy who's like not exactly a major league bullpen guy, like on a championship roster, Max Lazar's probably not going to be on your playoff roster. But if you can get 2 innings from him in this current state of the Phillies bullpen, eat up some innings, give Joe Ross a little bit of a break too from being like a long man, give Taijuan Walker a break from being a long man in the bullpen. I'll take that. I'll take 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout from Max Lazar in 2 innings of work any day of the week. Like, that's a good outing for him, and that's a positive sign for him. Michael Mercado was called up today too. Carlos Hernandez.
Bye-bye.
It's been real. It's been fun. It hasn't been real fun. I was waiting for that move to be made. Mercado pitched an inning, only gave up the 1 walk. I don't have real expectations for Michael Mercado. We've seen him in this bullpen before. We've seen him start a game before too. I don't have real expectations for him. I think it's just like, hey, we need a fresh arm in this bullpen, and Mercado has major league experience. Let's get him up here. I'm cool with it. We'll see what happens. But I think it was big for him to get to pitch the last inning of the game too, where like he has been pitching late innings at AAA. He's gotten saves this year at AAA. I think that's big to give him, not a high pressure situation, because the Phillies were obviously winning, 7-2 in the top of the 9th. So I'm comfortable putting him out there and getting, reps in that type of spot. But overall, like, damn near perfect game top to bottom for the Phillies to close out the series.
Yeah.
That's what they need. This was the type of game that this team needed today. On Wednesday, as we record this, they needed a closeout game like this to gear up for Toronto coming in. You have an off day, and as so many people, myself included, going into an off day with a win feels a whole hell of a lot better than going into an off day after a loss.
Yeah. And then we got to go try and beat up on the Blue Jays, how they just did us.
Yeah. And I mean, after, the Pirates series and people complaining about Kepler and Marsh, Bohm, not producing. Brandon Marsh's first career walk-off hit.
He's been batting 300 since in the last month.
That's my thing too. Is like, when did we as a society start to deem that Brandon Marsh was just like this power hitting center fielder? Yeah. I feel like so many people are like judging Brandon Marsh on the fact that like he doesn't hit home runs. I'm like, when has he ever hit home runs?
We only really have 1 or 2 dudes who do that. And
he's a guy that, even when he was with the Angels for the limited amount of time he was in the major leagues with the Angels, like, Brandon Marsh is the stereotypical play good to really good defense in the outfield and be good for anywhere from 12 to a good year 18 home runs.
Yep.
That's the type of player he is, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
and he roped that ball for the walk. I thought that was gonna be a great slam when it left the bat. The sound it made and the height it got when it left his bat, I was like, oh my God, great hit there. He needed that so much, and I'm so happy for him. Bohm has looked great the past couple of games as well. Like we mentioned, 2 for 4, scored a run, drove in 4, had the home run to cap off the game.
The Bohm run.
Don't look now. Alec Bohm's hitting 283. Like, the fact that dude at his lowest point this season was hitting 150 and now he's hitting 283. The amount of people that just like to complain about Alec Boehm, sure. Can we hope that he stops hitting into some double plays that he's been hitting to? Can we hope that, some of the ground outs turn into like bloop hits over the head of a fielder? Absolutely. But the fact that he's gotten his batting average up more than 100 points in a month and a half is kind of crazy. Like, that doesn't just happen coincidentally. Like, he's seeing the ball well, and at the end of the day, I've said this a lot about Alec Boehm. I get he's a 6'5", 240-pound third baseman. Why can't he hit for power? I don't care that Alec Boehm's not roping 40 home runs a year. If he can give me 20, give me 20, and in a good year, like 25 home runs. But also on top of that is roping doubles, driving guys in with 2 outs. That's what I want to see from Alec Boehm. Make it as simple as possible for him, and he's going to produce. You see when there's no, like, additional pressure on him. And I think a lot of it, too, when you see him playing third base and he doesn't have to play first base, he plays better because he's not having to worry about overcompensating in the field at a position that he's not overly comfortable playing. Like, sure, can he play first base? Yes. But is he a first baseman? No. He's a much better third baseman. And I think you see it in his play. When he plays third base, his offensive production, and this is all just like eye test from when I've seen it, it feels like he plays better hitting-wise when he's playing third base in the field than he does playing at first base.
Yeah. And, Mom, I haven't used my F word in a while, so I got to use it here. He fucking loves this place, by the way. He loves this place.
You were just quoting him.
Yeah.
That's just a quote. So I say you still have one in the chamber.
Okay. Word. I'm definitely stating that then.
I will deem that. That was a quote. That was a direct quote. Great game, though. Great series. Like we said, they needed to win this series. This was a must-win series coming off of a horrific road trip against Toronto and Pittsburgh. Brandon Marsh said, good teams go through these types of slumps. Like, it happens. Is it ideal? No. But guess what? At the end of the day, it happens. And now you're on to Toronto. And, I mean, sure, have the Mets also won? And have you lost ground in the standings? Yes, you're 5 games back in the division. But as we always say, winning the division is great. I loved winning the division last year. Banners fly forever. That 2024 division champs banner will fly forever. I'm just get in the dance. If you're the Phillies, just get in the dance. We've seen what happens when they just get into the dance. They can make some noise. That's all I'm worried about. They leveled out some of their home record. They're 20-13 at home, 18-16 on the road. You got the Blue Jays coming in, and they embarrassed you in Toronto. Like, that there's redemption on the table now for the Phillies when it comes to the Blue Jays coming to town. And, I mean, for a team, I said it when Marsh hit the walk-off, and I watched just the video with just the stadium audio that MLB Network put out. Like, you see the people react. I was like, this is a team that's coming off of being 1-9 in their last 10.
Yeah.
It's a Monday night towards the end of the school year in June, and it sounded like a playoff game. It sounded like Marsh just sent the Phillies to the World Series with how loud it was and just the reactions on people's faces. Like, it was so euphoric, and I was like, this rocks. I was like, this is why they play.
Yankees, Mets fans, y'all don't have shit on us. So, all my friends, there you go. Right there.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's my
is this the same guy? Yeah. So the nice part about the Blue Jays series upcoming, Phillies have an off day now on Thursday. Friday, it's Ranger Suarez against Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman, not the same pitcher he was with the Orioles towards the end of his Orioles tenure. He's a beatable pitcher. 3.87 ERA. You can hit him around if you're patient in the box and see your pitch. you can beat Kevin Gausman. Then on Saturday, it gets real fun. Christopher Sanchez against Bowden Francis. The guy that the Phillies absolutely tattooed up in Toronto. And then on Sunday, Father's Day game, which your boy will be at. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. What a gift. What a gift. Not only are we getting the beautiful 15 and older men in attendance get the Phillies board shorts, which I'm very excited about. I get to watch Zach Wheeler against Jose Barrios. Oh, soak it to my veins. That's a beautiful pitching matchup there.
Top star Zach Wheeler shuts down Barrios.
I love it. But yeah, I mean, like those are 3 winnable games. You get Gausman, Bowden, Francis. That's a guy that you got to say both names to. You got to say both of his names. You can't just call him Francis. You can't just call him Bowden or Bowden, as I like to call him with the Delco there. And then Barrios is a guy that the Phillies have historically demolished. And for whatever reason, just he made them forget how to hit in Toronto.
That was last week. You forget about it. That was last week.
Right. But that's a guy like you can't let last week interfere with like historically this team has torched him. Make it uncomfortable for him going against Zach Wheeler. Get Zach Wheeler a fucking win. Like I hate when Wheeler like all of our pitchers have done this year where they've pitched amazing games and it's like 2-1. They pull the pitcher and the very next pitch, boom, home run to either tie the game, or the opposing team takes the lead and it nullifies the win. Drives you crazy. Get Wheeler some run support. Get him a win.
Get him a Cy Young.
Win this series against the Blue Jays. Just win the series. Should sweep them, but win the series. I genuinely the pitching matchups: Ranger, Sanchez, and Wheeler. The Phillies have the pitching advantage in all 3 of those games. Yeah. I don't care how you feel about Kevin Gausman. The way Ranger Suarez is pitching right now is better than the way Kevin Gausman has pitched all year.
Yeah, I agree.
Ranger
just has that factor to him where he's like, I don't care who's pitching up against me. Did it against Strider twice in one series and got 2 W's. Just
yeah. You have the pitching advantage. You're at home, so you don't have to worry about the stupid turf in Toronto either, which I think is also a big deal. Just win the series. That's all I ask. Every single series, just win the series. Every single week. That's all I ask for. I'm also curious, who do the stupid Mets play this week upcoming? So they have the Rays and the Braves before playing the Phillies. Interesting.
With the meteor hit for that second series, that would just make me really happy. No winner. Both teams just
no wins, just meteors. Unfortunate Phillies news here. Which before we keep it pushing, want to talk to you guys about our friends at Ritas because we've got the scoop here for everyone. Our friends at Ritas, we were there on Sunday, Jacob. We had our taste test, which will be coming out in the next couple of days. Just genuinely, I love Ritas. Like I can't get enough of Ritas. I want it. I need Ritas to come install a custard machine in my house so I can just go up to it every single day and just
so nice.
Like flavor of the day, like just so good. I had the chocolate covered strawberry cream ice when we were leaving. Oh my God, it's so good, dude. It's so good. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how good it is. Genuinely, Rita's is second to none. It's the best place to cool down all summer long. Check out their menu on their website for all the flavors that are available, from obviously the Italian ice, the gelatis, the cream ice, the blendinis, the concrete. I know you had the Reese's concrete. How was that?
That was really good. It
looked divine.
I killed half my mom's chocolate, strawberry, whatever that was.
So good, man.
That was good.
That entered my top 5 so quickly in things to get from Rita's.
I only got like 3, but like that's in the top 3.
So good. So go visit our friends at Rita's in Sewell, 288 Egg Harbor Road. We'll be there all summer long, hanging out with them, and go check out Rita's. They're the best place to cool down all summer, and we appreciate Rita's for being a proud partner of the podcast. Jacob, we got the scoop this week. Aaron Nola's going to be out a lot longer than we expected.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but let's give him as much time as he needs. We have still the best rotation in baseball. Don't care what anyone says. Give him time so he's not worn out for the postseason like he was in 22, a little bit of 23. Let him have time off, come back, reset in August, late July, whatever it is, and turn into the Aaron Nola we all know and love.
Yeah, I was bummed when I found out that he was going to be out much longer. Simply because like Nola's been a workhorse for this team since he got called up in 2015. But on top of that, Nola being out until at least the All-Star break, which is the case with the stress reaction in his rib, is what I believe they're calling it, stress reaction in his right rib. It makes Mick Abel that much more important. And I love that for Mick Abel to be able to like make his mark in this rotation, be a part of this team, for the next couple of months. But it does make him a very important part of this team where you're not going to have Andrew Painter until after the All-Star break, which was always the plan, obviously. But Mick Abel now has to go every fifth day in the majors and really like showcase his stuff, which didn't have his greatest start in his last start, but it was more than serviceable, and the Phillies just didn't do enough offensively to like compensate for it. And at the end of the day, like Mick Abel's not going to be perfect every single time out. He's not going to go 0 walks and 1 earned run every single time he goes out and pitches. So the Phillies have to get behind him offensively and produce when he's on the mound. But I'm just gutted for Nola because it did feel like, this could have been like another like just a bring your lunch to work type season for Nola, 200 plus innings. Like this will be the first time in his career he doesn't go 200 plus since I don't even know when. Like that's just been his MO every single year. Like 200 plus innings or damn near close to it. Like last year 199 and a third, 2023 193 and 2/3, 2022 205, 2021 180 and 2/3, 2019 202 and a third, 2018, which was his all-star year, 212 and a third. Like he's just a dog. And like strikeout wise, like last year he went 197, and then 3 years prior went 3 years in a row. Actually, if you take out COVID, take out the 2020 season, 2018, 2019, 21, 22, 23, Nola had at least 202 strikeouts each of those years. And he had 197 last year. Yeah. So it's like he's just been a force and a workhorse for this team. And that's what's a bummer too, is like not every pitcher in this rotation is a workhorse like Nola, where like every fifth day for the past decade, you could almost rely on Aaron Nola outside of a couple of seasons to go out and give you 6, 7 and 2/3 innings of 1 to 3 run baseball, save your bullpen, and allow this rotation to just be that much deeper because you're allowing guys in the bullpen to rest and going out and pitching. Just like not Cy Young, not like anything crazy, but like just known for being an inning eating type pitcher with like great like a great pitching repertoire. It sucks that he's going to be out for that long, but I agree with you. Let him. I would honestly keep him out like post All-Star break. Like wait until after the All-Star break's done to like reevaluate like when you're going to bring him back. But then on top of that, it's like you want to ease him in, which I think also now heightens when Andrew Painter's ready to join the rotation. It heightens his importance as you work Nola back from the injury.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because we bring up Painter and Nola comes back. What is that? 6, 7 starters. It's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean it'll be Wheeler, Ranger, Luzardo, Sanchez, Nola,
5,
Abel
6,
Painter
7.
Which I think when Nola comes back, Abel will. This has been my thought process. This was obviously before and now after the Nola news, but I always thought Abel would get sent down, let him continue pitching, in the minors to just keep him going on a schedule. But
Yeah.
then September rolls around, Abel comes back up, and he comes out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Because you obviously can't go a 7-man rotation. Like, it will throw guys off. But Abel's got the stuff out of the bullpen that it would work. And if you can work him into a bullpen role in September, he can do it in the playoffs if you want to put him on the playoff roster. And I think that would also be super valuable, even though, like, yes, it sucks that, you know, we're not going to have Jose Alvarado, but like Mick Abel as a righty out of the bullpen, which has been kind of a bump in the road too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that if that becomes the course of action too, because then not that it deters what they need to do at the deadline, which we said on Sunday, we've been saying for a while, you need to get that bullpen help, but it also helps you get a little more creative where you let Mick pitch all of September out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Get him accustomed to that role. And he's got the stuff that plays out of the bullpen that he can come into a game in the postseason and you can get a little creative with guys in the bullpen.
Or even say Abel until Nola or Painter's ready looks amazing. Looks like the ace. We put Nola in the bullpen. I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they can do to get creative with the bullpen. And at the end of the day, it still comes down to they need to get 1 or 2 bullpen pitchers at the deadline for sure. Which, yeah, I mean, you brought that up before we started recording. Like Jim Bowden's last article for The Athletic brought up that apparently Felix Bautista is a guy that's on the radar for the Phillies.
Yeah.
I don't know how close to the finish line that would be. I mean, Bautista, I think, is going to be very coveted by a lot of teams. So, like, it's going to come down to the package that you're able to put together. But Bowden said in his article for The Athletic, the New York Times, whatever you want to call it, the Phillies front office is determined to land a dominant back end of the bullpen reliever, and I'm sure they will do so before the trade deadline. I think that's also kind of interesting. The wording there is before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
If the Orioles don't get back in the race, Felix Bautista could be the Phillies' best option to take over the 9th inning. I don't hate it. I would still love him to walk out to the, like, run out of the bullpen to the Omar whistle from The Wire, because that is just the toughest fucking closer, like, entrance ever. But I mean, if you can get Felix Bautista, I also would like them to get a bat in that deal too. Like, make it a 2-for-1 special, get a bench bat. I know we were talking after we were recording on Sunday, and we've talked a little bit, like, Cedric Mullins is like a guy that's been floated around the Phillies.
Yeah.
He's just a guy that's like, he doesn't move the needle for me per se. Like, I think he's a talented player. I also think he's just like on the downslope of his career. Like, he's about to start coming down the mountain a little bit more than like
we'd only get him for
the
rest of the year.
He's
fine.
The big issue I have is just he's another lefty.
That is fair.
And the Phillies have enough lefties, and it sucks that he didn't stick with switch hitting, because that would have been great.
He was a right-handed hitter, though. He was awful.
Yeah.
If you look at the splits, he was awful.
But, like, right now, too, like, he's not really jumping off the page at me what he's doing this season. Like, he's hitting 227. His OPS is at a 755. His OPS plus is a 116. His on-base percentage is only a 318. So for, like, a guy like that who's also, like, he's 30, he'll be 31 in the playoffs. I don't know. It just doesn't move the needle for me. I also don't really know, because the Orioles are very young on their roster across the board. I just don't know their full 40-man of available, like, hitters that you could go get. Like, I don't know if he would be available. I'm
Jordan Westberg.
I was looking at him. I was looking at what is it? Him and did they sign him recently? Ryan Mountcastle?
No, but he's kind of on the down trajectory.
He's injured right now. That's the only thing. But like, what is Ryan Mountcastle's contract? Because if Mountcastle's an expiring, that intrigues me more
He
than
is expiring.
Let's see what his contract is. He's arbitration next year, so probably a little tougher. What's Jordan Westberg though? Because that's another name that I think
Westberg has a lot of time, but the Orioles have done some shit before, so
it's true. Jordan Westberg. Yeah, he's pre-arb.
yeah.
Pre-arb at 27. Good grief.
Yeah.
But that's a name like I wouldn't hate either of those guys, but like that's something that like I'm looking at when the Phillies make a trade is like, can they double dip with a team? Can they get a 2-for-1 and like, make it a deal that makes sense for them across the board? Felix Bautista would be awesome. I mean, he's 6'8". He's a behemoth. But then on top of that, like, can you double dip? Can you get another reliever from them? Can you get a bench bat from them? Like, is there a way to make it doubly worth, making that deal?
Yeah.
That's what I'm paying attention to a ton going into, the trade deadline and everything, which we still have a lot of time before the deadline rolls around. But, looking at some of the teams right now that are on the downslope, like the Orioles are obviously there. I'm still keeping my eye on the Guardians. I know they're 2 games over 500, but they're in a division with the Twins and the Tigers, and the Tigers are not slowing down anytime soon. And that Guardians team, they don't like to pay players. They got guys on that team, and I'm keeping my eyes like this. I'm just like, I got binoculars from the treehouse, just looking in, seeing what's going on in Cleveland. I'm like Brian Windhorst. What's going on in Cleveland? That's how I feel about them. You got the Athletics, the Rangers, the Angels. I mean, the Mariners are kind of falling off a little bit, but that division's so bad that like, they could get back into first place.
They have Munoz or however you say it.
Yeah, the Marlins are a potential team, who always love to sell players. So that's another team to kind of just look at. Like, they always have like 1 or 2 dudes. Like, my guy that I wanted the Phillies to get last year at the deadline and in free agency that they didn't end up getting was Brian De La Cruz. I was like, he was like the perfect like fit for this team. They didn't go get him.
And he got us to the playoffs in 22. So
literally, he's honorary Philly. And like we mentioned a couple episodes ago, like Jorge Soler is a guy that I'm still like looking at as a like big play type of bat off the bench for the team. So there's teams that like you just got to keep an eye on, see how things are shaking. That's what June is all about. I mean, you want to talk about a team that might be a surprise seller at the deadline now too, Jacob? Arizona Diamondbacks.
I've seen Gallen in the trade market.
Their rotation is decimated by unfortunate injuries. There's guys that are on that team, and there's a certain player that has been floated around that people have been writing about that, like, I don't know the exact fit. I don't know how it would work, but I also wouldn't hate it, especially if he is on the type of contract that I think he's on. Let me see here. What is his contract status? So he's an expiring. There's a club I think it was a club option for this year, so he'll be an unrestricted free agent after the year.
Who?
Eugenio Suarez.
I don't hate it. Just I don't know where he.
I don't hate it. It's just finding like where he would play. But like
this though,
he rakes.
The thing I saw was, I'd give up Painter if they said we'll give you Ketel Marte.
If Ketel Marte was 4 years younger, I would say yes. He's one of those guys that's like feels like he's younger than he actually is.
Yeah.
Because I've been a long Ketel Marte stan. He's so fun. He's so talented. He's 31.
I mean,
like, he's not old,
he's not.
but he's also like a guy that is not that he's aging either. Like, he's still playing at a very high level. But he's one of those guys that I'm like, damn, if he was 28, I'd be like, go get that guy. Give up a top 5 prospect for him. I don't know if I would give him Painter, because that's also I don't know if they'd be able to trade Ketel Marte, honestly, because they signed him to that extension that kicked in this year.
Yeah.
He signed through 2030 with a player option for 2031.
That's only like 4 years away. Yeah, fuck it.
Which he'll be 37 by then.
I want to chip this year. I don't want to chip in 10 years when half those guys aren't on the team.
I'm also looking at those deals too, and I'm like, I also want to be able to re-sign Kyle Schwarber.
Fair. And Middleton's not scared to blow his money.
Let me see the Diamondbacks roster now, actually, because that's a sneaky team that, like,
yeah,
their rotation is
Alex Thomas, and let us ruin his career.
Cooked. There were like Corbin Burns is out for the year. Tommy John, Graveman's on the injured list. Christian Mena's on the injured list. Justin Martinez is on the injured list. Jordan Montgomery is in exile on the injured list. Like AJ Puck is on the injured list. They have so many guys that are out pitching wise that, like, I don't know if it's worth it for them to, like, continue pushing for it. Like, Jacob. I gotta see the contract first. What is the contract?
Can I take a guess?
Go for it. Go for it. Nope.
Alex Thomas or
nope.
Lourdes Gurriel.
If the Phillies can somehow get this guy on this roster, he is exactly, and I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, this is exactly the type of player they need. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Can I interest you in 28-year-old, or excuse me, not even, he's 25, 25-year-old Geraldo Perdomo.
I love him just because that would be the show, but again,
he is exactly what this team needs.
Where's he gonna play?
You can play him anywhere. He's versatile.
Is he gonna play in center or left? I know he plays everywhere on the infield.
You could sneaky play him anywhere, but that bat plays in this line, and he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
And he's hitting, like, these are his stats so far this year. 34 runs, 63 hits. He's got 7 home runs, 45 RBI, 11 stolen bases, 264 average, on base percentage 360, 774 OPS.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
I don't know if they'll trade him because he's so young and, like, a part of that core, and he signed through 2030 with the arbitration extension they did for him to, like, nullify his ARB years. But man, would he be a perfect fit for this team?
Yeah, he would.
From a just lineup perspective, like, obviously you'd have to find a way for him to play. But goddamn, that's a name that, like, I'm gonna keep an eye on just in trade deadline terms in general.
I would like Gurriel in left field.
Gurriel would be fun.
Left. Because he's got a bat and he's right-handed. That's exactly what we need, that kind of player. And his defense is but, like, again, F defense.
What's his contract situation?
He's up either this year or next.
He is... He signed a 3-year deal in free agency, so he is signed through... He has a player option next year, and then a club option in 2027.
Hey, if you don't like
So
me,
like a hypothetical expiring because it's a player option, so he could opt out. I don't hate that either. That's definitely somebody to keep an eye on left field wise. Like, I mean, he's probably like as close to a perfect platoon with Kepler in left.
Yeah. Or Brett Rooker.
And like he's a guy too that like his contract's not bad. It was a 3-year, $42 million deal. You platoon him in left with Kepler, and on the days that Kepler starts, his bat off the bench is like exactly what we have talked about, where the Phillies don't have. I don't even know if you have to play him every day. Like he's on like be trading for him obviously for the postseason. Like you can play him against guys that you feel comfortable playing him against, and then you have Kepler here, and he'd be here for full months of August, September, and then the playoffs.
He's batting 254, 739 OPS, 10 bombs, 37 RBIs, 62 hits. I'd kind of want him playing every day over.
I mean, yeah, and I wouldn't hate platooning him in certain spots with Kepler because I think Kepler plays like very solid defense as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying like 8th inning, 9th inning comes around, you put Kepler in, but like.
And like I'd have Kepler play against righties. I don't know the lefty-righty splits for Gurriel offhand.
He's actually better against righties, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of nutty.
See if I can pull up his splits. Where is? I'll see if I can find his. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a name that I will be putting in my back pocket because that's a tradable contract. The Diamondbacks are dead this year, pitching-wise, compared to what they thought they were going to be. Gurriel's 31. He'll be 32 in October. Right-handed power-type bat. Yeah, you heard it here first. That we're official stamp of our guys for the trade deadline. Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Yep.
Who I also like to call one of
the 20-person list. Yeah.
We like to make a list on the show, like of guys that we target. He's officially number one, like stamp of approval. That's somebody I would like. Not saying like number one overall, but like that's the first guy that I'm like saying like stamp of approval. If that happens, I like that deal.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. No.
Who now the question is, who can the Phillies also like double down with from that Diamondbacks bullpen and get a 2-for-1 to make the trade like a little more enticing?
How long is Martinez out for?
Martinez is on the 15-day IL.
Shelby Miller. That would be interesting.
Because I'm also looking at like lefties for the bullpen just from the fact that like Alvarado won't be available in the postseason. Yeah. So you do need like a big time, like left-handed, like big pitcher out of the back end of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ Puck would have been perfect if he wasn't injured.
Yeah, 60 days he wouldn't be back in.
Yeah, he's cooked. I think he's out. I think he's out for the year. Who's the lefty in their bullpen?
I mean, he hasn't pitched since April 17th, so there's a chance he comes back.
Jalen Beeks isn't having a bad year.
No, he's playing solid.
3.03 ERA in 32 games, 30 strikeouts. He's kind of like a Tanner Banksy type of pitcher, just from the left side.
Do you want another Tanner Banks, really?
I mean, Tanner Banks, unsung hero, I think, in the bullpen. No, like with Alvarado being out and like the way the bullpen's been constructed, he's one of the few guys too that Dombrowski has traded for that's like been retained the following year. It's like him and Marsh are the only guys that have like stuck around for multiple years. And Sosa, like those guys are like the only survivors of trade deadlines past.
Rodolfo Castro
doing his thing in AAA. You know he won't miss a phone call, though, although it might, because the phone might slide out of his pocket.
I like that. I like that one. That's a good one.
let's do a little underground stats and info for the people. We'll start with the run differentials brought to you by our friends at 47. Guys, I wear 47 all the time. I'm wearing the Eagles Super Bowl champions 47 hat right now. Literally on my desk down here, I have a whole slew of 47 hitch style hats. That's my go-to style. I love the hitch style. Just fits on your head like perfectly, and like it's just the perfect complement to every outfit. I love 47. Jacob, this is how you know 47 is worldwide and global, because today the New York Times put a photo out. The Pope was wearing a Chicago White Sox 47 hat. 47 is going to the pontiff at the Vatican, okay? That's how you know you're big time. We love 47 here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Use our link in the description. Shop with 47. They just dropped their neutral hitch collection, which is just beautiful tonal gray colorway for every single sports league out there. They got everything going on for the finals. They got the spring cleanup collection. The Ranchero 47 hitch is awesome. Use the link in the description. Shop with 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you create an account and join the 47 family. Again, use the link in the description. Create an account, join the 47 family. You earn points on every transaction. And right now I got enough points so that I can go get a free hat if I wanted to, okay? We love that for me. I'd love that for you. Use our link in the description. Shop with 47, and we thank 47 for being a proud partner of the podcast. Jacob, as you know, we love run differentials. It tells us if a team is good, bad, or in between. And for the people that are new to the pod, we guess the NL East and right now the Colorado Rockies run differentials to see where they're sitting across the board, where the Phillies stack up in the division and everything. So, Jacob, we will start with the NL East run differentials brought to you by 47. We'll start with the first place, unfortunately, New York Mets, who are 44-24, 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 5 in a row. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Runs against.
They have given up 221 runs so far on the season.
I'm going to go plus 95.
So close. Plus 94. You're on the money. You're on the money.
Good start. It's a good start. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We move to the 39-29, second place Philadelphia Phillies, 5 games back in the division, half game up in the wild card standings, if that's your thing to look at the wild card standings in the month of June. 3-7 in their last 10. They've won 1 in a row. Would you like the runs scored or runs against?
Runs scored.
They've scored 312, which is the second most in the division, just behind the New York Mets, who scored 315.
I'm going to say plus 26.
They're at a plus 17. Plus 17. I road trip did them no favors. They've given up 295, which is still average in the division. It's third in the division. Scored 312, though. We go to the 30-37 Washington Nationals. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Go runs scored.
They've scored 279 runs so far this year.
Minus 52.
You're so close. Minus 57. You're in that 5-run range.
I know. I like it, but
You're
I don't.
dialed in.
I'm dialed. I'm good.
They have surrendered 336 runs on the year, which is second most in the division. Scored 279. We go to the 29-38 Atlanta Braves. 2-8 in their last 10. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Runs against, because I didn't use it since it's a quote. Fuck Strider.
263 is the runs against.
Are they plus? Can you give me that?
They are plus, which is so strange.
Give me plus 12.
Plus 10.
Dog.
Plus 10. 29-38, and they're a plus 10 run differential. Their expected win-loss, though, is 35-32, which is just hysterical.
Yeah.
Then we go to the last place, 25-41, Miami Marlins. Do you like their runs scored or runs against?
Runs scored.
They've scored 264 runs, which is the fewest in the division.
Minus 95.
Minus 93.
Dog.
Minus 93.
I'm a little. I don't know what the word is.
Super dialed in. You're right in the zone on 4 out of the 5.
Yeah, but that's like I didn't get one, so I'm a little bit mad at myself, but we'll get there.
They have given up 357 runs on the year, scored 264. Going around the rest of the National League, the Cubs are at a plus 103, which is the best run differential in the National League. The Cardinals are a plus 23. The Brewers are a plus 16. The Reds are a plus 33, and the Pirates are a minus 52. The Dodgers are at a plus 68, leading the NL West. The Giants are a plus 46. The Padres are plus 24. The Diamondbacks are a minus 4. And then we come to the 12-54 Colorado Rockies, Jacob. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Runs against.
They've given up a National League high, not a Major League high, a National League high, 408 runs.
Minus 180. No. Minus 196.
Minus 199.
Just give me a second. What the? Mom, I didn't say it. Mom, I didn't say it. Sorry.
Which through 66 games, they've given up 408 runs, which is about 6.18 runs per game. And on a 162 game average, they're still on pace, just barely, to give up 1,000 runs on the year. 1,001.45 is what they're on pace for. We do have another team that we have to check in on, though, because they have surpassed the Rockies in runs against so far this year. But we start in the American League East, where the Yankees have a plus 106 run differential. The Blue Jays are at a plus 4. The Rays are at a plus 47. The Red Sox are at a plus 18. And the Orioles are at a minus 82. The Tigers lead the AL Central with a plus 85. The Minnesota Twins are at a plus 29. The Guardians are 35-32, but they have a negative 14 run differential. The Royals are at a minus 20, and the White Sox are at a minus 57. Then we go to the AL West. The Houston Astros with a plus 29. The Angels in second place now with a minus 50. The Mariners are at a minus 14. The Rangers are 4 games under 500, but they have a plus 10. And Jacob, the new leader in the clubhouse for runs against on the season, the Oakland Athletics, have given up a league-high 419 runs on the year, which means we have to do another calculation because through 70 games so far for the A's, they've given up 419. Multiply that by 162. The A's are on pace to only give up 969 runs on the year so far this season, but they've given up the most runs at 419 on the year. Those are your run differentials around the NL East and Major League Baseball. We move to the Platinum Plunk Award, which, if you're new to the program, that's where we keep track of the hit by pitch category for the American League, National League, Philadelphia Phillies, and overall team leader so far throughout a given season. Jacob, we start with the National and American League leaders. Leading the National League, he won our award in the month of May. He's now been hit by 11 pitches so far on the year. That is Milwaukee Brewers infielder Caleb Durbin, who's been hit by 11 pitches on the year.
He had a homer the other day, I saw, I think.
A short king, too, 5'7".
Can't relate.
What a guy. And then leading the American League, he has surpassed everyone, and he's all by himself at the top of the list with 12, leading all of Major League Baseball for an individual player. Minnesota Twins, Todd France. Oh, How do you do, Ty France? Leading the way. He was a co-leader in the American League at the end of May with Randy Arozarena, but now leads it all by himself. We'll go to the Phillies leader because guess what? There's a new tie at the top. Kyle Schwarber has been hit by 4, but he's joined by his fellow top of the lineup hitter, Trey Shiesty. Trey Turner also been hit by 4 pitches so far this season. Bryce Harper at 3, Bohm at 3, Kepler at 3, Castellanos at 3. JT Realmuto just got hit by his first pitch the other night. Got plunked right off those sweet cheeks. That booty got fucking hit. He got hit by his first. Stott hit by 1. Edmundo Sosa by 1. And Rafael Marchand has been hit by 1. So that leaves Johan Rojas, Brandon Marsh, Weston Wilson, Otto Kemp, and Cal Stevenson as the only guys that are still actively in the Phillies organization to be at the 0 mark. So
yeah, Weston Wilson's not going to get that chance.
Yeah, it's looking that way. It's looking that way. And then we go to the overall team stats for the hit by pitch category because my oh my, are they back at the top? Yes, they are. The New York Mets have been hit by a league high 43 pitches so far this year. We go to second place right behind them, back-to-back monthly leaders, the Minnesota Twins, 42 pitches. And then we get a drastic drop-off, 34 for the Washington Nationals, 33 for the Mariners, 32 for both the Red Sox and Cardinals, 31 for the Yankees, 30 for the Diamondbacks and Angels, 29 for the Orioles and Astros, 28 for the Brewers, 27 for the Tigers. Pirates are at 26, which is league average. Then we go below league average. It's the Guardians at 25, the Phillies at 24, the Dodgers, the Giants at 23. At 22, it's the Braves, the Royals, the Rangers, and the Blue Jays. 21 is the Reds and the Rockies. 19 for the Rays. 17 for the Cubs. 17 for the Padres. 16 for the Marlins. 15 for the Athletics. And then the White Sox with 13. That is your Platinum Plunk standings as we approach the midway point in June already. And that is brought to you by our friends over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. It's also brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, there's no better way to stand out in the crowd if you're going to Citizens Bank Park, going to Subaru Park for a Union game, gearing up for the NBA draft, the NHL draft, or, of course, wanting to rep the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Then with our friends at PHI Apparel Company, because with their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. You can also rep Underground Sports Philadelphia because it is the exclusive home for Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch. Use the link in the description or go to phiapparel.co. And when you go to checkout, use code Underground and you'll get 10% off your next merch order from our friends at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code Underground for 10% off your next merch order so you can stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Philadelphia Eagles news, speaking of, they signed Jahad Campbell today. Love that he's signed. South Jersey legend. There's only 4 of the 32 first-round picks that are still unsigned now. And the Bengals' first-round pick is calling their owner out, which is just absolutely crazy. But I love that Jahad is signed now. He's going to be a demon. I'm so excited for him. But he's under contract, which is great. And then on top of that, news broke yesterday that Jeffrey Lurie is donating a $50 million gift to open the Lurie Autism Institute in partnership with Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and Penn Medicine. Lurie announced the launch of the Lurie Autism Institute this morning, being on June 10th. The first of its kind institute located in Philadelphia aims to be a global hub for autism research and care. this is one of the coolest things. Like, Jeffrey Lurie, genuinely one of, if not the best owner in the NFL, and quite frankly, all of sports. Like, what he does as an owner is second to none. He always gives back to the community, and his help in the autism like research and just like care department with the Eagles Autism Foundation, this new $50 million gift to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and Penn Medicine in partnership with them to launch the Lurie Autism Institute is genuinely so like, it's groundbreaking. It's community change. Like, it's going to help so many people in the Philadelphia area and just be an institution that is here for decades and generations. And that's the cool part about this, is like, you see different owners in all of sports where like they're just there to, kind of be a hollow type of fixture in an organization. Jeffrey Lurie and to an extent too, John Middleton with the Phillies, like, they give back to the community. They want to see the Philadelphia area succeed, not only just with like ownership of their team, but they want to see the community succeed. And I think that separates a bad owner from a good owner and a good owner from a great owner. And Jeffrey Lurie, like, if you're an Eagles fan, like Jeffrey Lurie has been the Eagles owner for all of my cognizant memory of being an Eagles fan. And everything he does is just with so much attention to detail, so much care. He genuinely cares about the community. And I think that's so important when you're an owner of a sports franchise. We have the complete opposite in Philadelphia with Josh Harris, in my opinion. Owner of the Sixers, owns a bunch of other teams, doesn't really care about the community all that much from everything that I see. He's genuinely like, Andy, like, I don't want to play with you anymore type of situation, where Jeffrey Lurie like does so much and gives back to the community, wants to see the people who are spending their hard-earned money on Eagles tickets, on Eagles gear, have opportunities to continue to grow in the community, to get help that they may need, to have access to different things. That it's truly admirable for, the stereotype of a billionaire is like, they don't care about the little man. They don't care about people around them. Like, they care about their money and they care about, being the wealthy guy at the table. I feel like Jeffrey Lurie is like not that whatsoever. Like, yes, he has billions, but he does good with his billions. And I feel like that's such a rare commodity in like modern society. No matter if you're a sports owner or just a billionaire in general, it feels like billionaires are typically the bad guys. Jeffrey Lurie's like the outlier there, where he is like the good guy, giving back, caring about the community he's in. And I think this is just one of the coolest things that Jeffrey Lurie has done in his time as Eagles owner, and being able to give a $50 million gift to open an autism institute in partnership with some of the best medical spots in the country in CHOP and Penn Medicine. Tip of the cap to Jeffrey Lurie. Like, just a job well done. That was really cool. And I saw Schefter tweet about that the other day. So kudos to Mr. Lurie. He's phenomenal. And we're very lucky as Eagles fans to have him as our owner. Jay, you want to talk a little hoops?
Pacers won game 2.
Talk a little hoops here. NBA finals are going on, obviously, but some news about the draft has been circulating for my Sixers, who are in the lottery, champions of the lottery, if you will. The thought process coming out of them getting the number 3 pick was like Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. The Sixers need wing help. He may be undersized from, the combine measurements and stuff like that. But like, when you watch Ace Bailey play, like, the dude was doing that at Rutgers too. It's not like he was, surrounded by a multitude of talent. Like, yes, Dylan Harper was there, but like, it was just those two. Like, it's not like he was at like a Duke or a UNC or, one of these like blue blood schools and playing well. Like, he was at Rutgers, and those two went to Rutgers together to try to like change that program. It didn't work out, obviously, but I feel like Ace Bailey's a very talented player. It feels like the Sixers are dialing in on VJ Edgecombe, though. Report came out from Jake Fisher that the draft starts with the Sixers at 3, but then there's also some conflicting reports where like Dylan Harper may not be the pick at 2 for the Spurs, and who knows what goes into that. But now it feels like VJ Edgecombe is a guy that the Sixers are looking at. Apparently Tyrese Maxey was on a flight with Sixers like front office people for the VJ Edgecombe like visit. I don't know how I feel about that. Not saying that VJ Edgecombe is not a good player. Like if you're being talked about in the lottery, there's some skill to your game to a degree. Sixers have Tyrese Maxey under contract long term. I think he's genuinely like a superstar ready to emerge. I think he's very talented, and the fact they got him when they did shut up Mike Muscala. I think Jared McCain is also a very talented basketball player, and like we didn't get a lot of him because he got injured, unfortunately. But like when he's ready to go, I think him and Maxey as a duo is very, very fun, and they're going to be able to accomplish a lot together. I don't know why you would want to or need to add another guard to this team when it has been a problem for the Sixers for years, having just like youthful, talented wing players. Like they have not, like all of the wing players that they've had over the years, like since we've started this podcast, Robert Covington was in his late 20s. And like a guy that was like a G League like success story. Like Robert Covington wasn't this like superstar, but the Sixers found ways to make him work during the process era, and he made a very good career for himself. I love Robert Covington. Then you get Jimmy Butler, who was in his prime, but you know, it didn't end up working out. You end up trading Jimmy. Tobias Harris, we all know how we feel about Tobias. And now Paul George. And Paul George, I'll give it to him, injured a lot last year, wasn't fully himself. I also don't think Paul George is like this on the rise, like going to be a like force at his age and the injuries he's had. Like I kind of feel like what Paul George is now is like what Paul George is. Can there be moments where he has games that he pops off? Sure, that's the NBA. Like it happens to the most random players. But I don't think Paul George is like an elevating type player. He's kind of like plateaued and like on the downscale simply because Father Time is undefeated. That's why I'm like, cool. Ace Bailey makes a lot of sense. You know, talented player. He's raw. He's young. I just don't get the fit for VJ, and just watching some of the games that Baylor played and some of the film that's come out, like, I don't know. VJ just looks slow to me, and that's the last thing the Sixers need is slow players. His shot just does not look fluid, and I know they have him listed as like a shooting guard, small forward, but like he's 6'5". Let's be real. Like that's guard height in the NBA. Like you're 6'5", you're not really matching up all too well against small forwards, you know, one-on-one matchups there. I don't get the fit. And I mean, we'll probably get some people on too that are more in tap, you know, with the Sixers and everything than we have been over the past calendar year, you know, as the draft gets closer. But when I saw like that they could be pivoting to VJ, I was like, I wasn't all that like because I think VJ is going to have a solid NBA career. I just don't think it's a great fit for him as a player either. Like I don't see the fit for where like he'll be able to utilize his skill sets on a night in and night out basis. And I just don't get the roster fit for the Sixers to draft a 6'5", undersized small forward and shooting guard when you literally drafted Jared McCain last year and you have Tyrese Maxey on the roster. I don't know. Because when you're drafting a guy at number 3, I don't know about you, Jacob. That's a guy that I'm drafting to be an immediate day one starter in your starting 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I would, but y'all are the Sixers for a reason. Y'all are gonna mess it up, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. We're going to absolutely fumble this pick.
Even if y'all somehow get Ron Harper, or not Ron Harper, Dylan Harper. I'm thinking of his dad.
Please.
Even if that
Things
does
I would
happen,
do.
even if that does happen, he'll end up turning into a bust.
Or we'll do what we do with Mikal Bridges and we'll trade him for a bag of rocks and
Yeah.
I'll
Dagger
scream.
Smith.
You don't understand how pissed I was because I called that the Sixers were going to draft Mikal Bridges in that draft.
Yeah.
And then they draft him. His mom works for the team. And then you trade him for a walking peanut allergy in Zaire Smith. A project. Because this team was so goddamn stupid and had their GM running burner accounts, and you didn't have a GM in place for the goddamn NBA draft. Oh my!
You need a minute, Kyle?
It's gonna be okay.
At least you still have the Eagles.
The Eagles
And
won
the
the
Phillies.
Super Bowl. The Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Phillies are going to win the World Series this year.
Basketball cannot ruin my life. It cannot ruin my life. It does not affect me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm like Hades and Hercules. I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I was so thrilled that we drafted Mikal. And then we traded him away. Like big, dumb dipshits.
He's a big Phillies and Eagles fan too, Mikal.
Yeah, you know, from Philadelphia, no big deal. No big deal.
Oh, y'all are dumb.
So stupid. Dumbest organization in this city, hands down. Good grief. But yeah, VJ, leave us a voicemail. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Let me know what you think the Sixers should do with the third pick. Let me know what the VJ Edgecombe versus Ace Bailey versus whatever type situation is in your brains. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. And like Jacob said, the Pacers won game 3, 2-1. Good guys win. Love
Hey,
to see
Kyle,
it.
do you know what the final total score was?
Oh boy. What was it?
So the over-under was 226.
Mm-hmm.
Here's at 223.
That's tough.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Vegas. Vegas, thank you. You've done it again.
That's tough. Wow. Also, Tyrese Halliburton with an all-time quote after the game in the post-game interview on the court. Quote, he gonna go home. He had a pocket for them jeans. Tyrese Halliburton on his dad after game 3. Also, I love that now we are 2 games away from TJ McConnell.
Before getting a championship.
More importantly, TJ McConnell being an NBA.
Yeah, it's a little before. Yeah.
I need TJ at a NBA Finals parade. I love TJ McConnell. He is so awesome. Process legend, Sixers legend. I love TJ so much.
Dumped him too for no reason.
Yeah, I was sad about that. Like I understood it because like the Pacers gave him a bag in free agency. But he's so fun. He's ultimate vibes guy. Like he's to the Pacers what Caruso is to the Thunder.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I love TJ.
Met like half the Pacers squad. They're all super dope guys. Miles Turner, coolest dude ever. Halliburton, super cool. Jarris Walker, super dope. Met like they're all super cool.
Love it. 2-1 Pacers. I also wanted to bring this up to you because I've been like perplexed by it. Why is the NBA and NHL finals so spread out the way that they are?
It's for rest technically because you see the difference in regular season to postseason physicality. They got to give their bodies a break. I don't know about NHL. I don't watch it, but basketball, there's a level of physicality they go out at the finals, and it's way different from regular season when you can take a day off and be like, all right, I can play tomorrow.
like the NHL, like the Stanley Cup Finals started on Wednesday, June 4th. So last Wednesday was game 1. Oilers win. Game 2 was on Friday. I don't know about you, Jacob. Like, yes, basketball, physically demanding sport. Hockey's physical as all get out.
Yeah.
Like, you're skating around, you got dudes banging and clanging on each other at full throttle speeds like that. And they're like, game 1 was an overtime game. Game 2 was then played on Friday, double overtime.
Yeah.
And then game 3 was played on Monday. Game 4 is on Thursday. Game 5 is on Saturday. Game 6, if necessary, is on Tuesday, June 17th. And then game 7, if necessary, is on Friday, June 20th. That's the schedule. So from June 4th to June 20th, you're getting potentially 7 games for the NHL. NBA final schedule. After they have, like, tuned us into having basketball, like, every other night.
Yeah.
With all these series. NBA finals started on Thursday, June 5th. Then game 2 was on Sunday, June 8th. Then game 3 was today. Then game 4 is on Friday. Game 5, if needed, is on Monday, June 16th. Game 6, if needed, is on Thursday, June 19th. And then game 7 is on June 22nd.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Like, and on top of that, we didn't get a chance to talk about it. It is an abomination. It is embarrassing and just so pathetic that these finals courts don't have any NBA finals branding on them.
Yeah, it's sad.
And then they try to double down and fix it and put the digital Larry O'Brien trophy that made the court look like it was straight off of Temu.
Someone said it was another quote I could say is here, fuck off.
Literally, like, get out of my face. We fixed it. Adam Silver strikes again. I just like the fact that we have specialized courts for the in-season tournament, which I love the in-season tournament. I'm a big fan of that stuff. The fact that every court gets specialized, you have that trophy on the court, but then the actual NBA finals, you don't have even just the NBA finals script in the paint. That's a minimum. That's all you got to do. Like, I saw multiple people talking about this. And I was like, that's so true. When you look up highlights of this NBA finals, you could show them to somebody and you could possibly think that was a game from like March.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes it stand out that it's the NBA final. The pomp and it is so neutralized. And I just don't like the NFL would never. The Super Bowl, you know it's the Super Bowl when you're watching it. The World Series, you know it's the World Series when you're watching it. Even the Stanley Cup Finals to a degree. If you're watching the Stanley Cup Finals, you know you're watching the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
March Madness, you know you're watching the Final Four.
Yeah.
Like all of these big sporting events, like you know it's the grand stage for that sport. It does not look like it's the finals if you're an NBA fan. But look-wise, like if an alien came down from outer space and you said, what game is this? They'd have no clue that it was for a championship occurring between the Pacers and the Thunder, because there's nothing that makes it stand out that the NBA finals are happening. And it is just whoever decided that in the NBA marketing department that like, yeah, we're not going to put NBA finals. And I know the giant Larry O'Brien trophy has been gone for a long time now, but like make it simple. Like if you want to go simplistic, just put NBA finals in the paint in that script that is just so beautiful, or don't do the lazy digital Larry O'Brien trophy. It made the court look so tacky and just like, ugh, I hated it so much. And I'm glad we're on the same page with that, because it just genuinely does not feel like I'm watching a big game.
No. I was watching I was bored at work for a change, and I watched Game 6, Heat Spurs when Allen hit the greatest shot of all time, and I'm like, damn, just like that. It was the final script. It's just so beautiful. So
And
beautiful.
it's like we don't even know. And like this finals, like we've had awesome games.
Yeah.
3 games in, amazing like storylines, amazing just back and forth. And the fact that there's nothing showcasing that it's the NBA finals is lunacy to me.
It's
bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And I'm glad you and I agree on that, because the more you speak up about it, the more digital Larry O'Brien trophies we'll get on the court. But before we know it, the Larry O'Brien trophy is gonna be digital. It's gonna be bouncing around like the old school computer, like screensaver, just bouncing, and everyone's waiting for it to
Let it
hit
hit
the
a corner.
corners. Let it hit the corner, and then everyone's gonna go nuts when it hits the corner. And people that are in the stadium will be like, "Why are people freaking out about the Larry O'Brien trophy? It's not even on the court." And then we're gonna be like, "God damn it!" But yeah. Next year, NBA, let's clean that up. Let's get back to the basics. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's make it be known that we're watching the championship stage. Okay, it's not that difficult.
Lock in, Adam.
It's not that difficult, guys. It's not that difficult. NBA chatter there and Sixers chatter brought to you by our friends at Paramount Plus. Jacob, do you like Paramount Plus? Do you like streaming platforms that provide you just beautiful back catalogs, live sports and entertainment at the click of a finger?
Love it. Love it.
Jacob, are you also a college student right now?
I unfortunately am at sometimes.
Can I interest you and all of your college friends in an awesome deal that Paramount Plus is running right now?
Oh, I love deals. Yeah, let me hear it.
Right now, if you're a college student, you can get 25% off Paramount Plus. 25% is a big chunk of change, if I do say so myself.
Deal right there.
Paramount Plus is offering students 25% off any of their packages. That's incredible. Going into the summer months, having Paramount Plus at the tip of your fingers when they have live sports available to watch. They have an incredible back catalog of just amazing TV shows. The nostalgia of Nickelodeon is on Paramount Plus. They are truly bang for your buck, the best streaming platform, in my opinion, out there. They do truly just do it like no other. And right now, Paramount Plus plans start at $3.99 a month for students. That's nothing. Look at some of these other big streaming platforms. Not going to name drop them, but look at what they're charging. $3.99 for students. That's incredible. Use our link in the description. If you're a student, starting at $3.99 a month, you can get Paramount Plus. Special offer for students running right now for quite some time. You've got a lot of time to do it, but redeem it now. Go get it now. Gear up all summer. Tune into live sports. Tune into all the programming on Paramount Plus, and special plans starting at $3.99 a month for students. Use our link in the description. Sign up for Paramount Plus today and get started with all the live sports, television, movies, and more with our friends at Paramount Plus. Jacob, we are going into Water Dogs homecoming weekend. You're going to take in your first professional lacrosse games for the very first time.
Yep.
One, from everything Harrison and I have told you about the PLL and just like pro lacrosse, I want your blind going into it expectations for what you're going to like want to see happen and how you think right now without experiencing it. I want you to predict how you're going to feel coming out of your first PLL experience.
I'm expecting to see, because we're obviously going to Philadelphia, a lot of drunk, obnoxious fans. I'm just putting it out there. And I'm going to see some low jits running around, just like you said, some low jits running around with low lacrosse sticks. I'm going to want to truck them, but I know I will go to jail if I do that, so I can't do it.
You will be interviewing them, though, which
I will be interviewing them.
Hilarious.
I'm going to interview the low jits. No, I'm excited. definitely excited. I think I'm gonna fall in love with it as soon as I come out of it. I'm either gonna fall in love with it or I'm gonna hate it. But
I
I
don't
hope
think
I
you'll
fall in love.
hate it.
Yeah,
Knowing the sports you like too, being
yeah,
a basketball player, like I was telling you, like there's a lot of like basketball nuance, and the superstar on the Water Dogs, Michael Sowers, who's from Philly,
but
he gets constantly compared to Allen Iverson for the
oh,
way he plays lacrosse. So there's like so much like nuance and like there's gonna be some. It's gonna get physical out there.
ooh, I
You know,
love it.
game one, Boston, Philly, gonna be a battle. Those two teams don't like each other. And I mean, you're gonna be able to see in the second game against the Water Dogs, Jared Bernhardt will be playing for the Outlaws, who played in the NFL, which is pretty sweet. And then, you know, they're like the athleticism is just off the charts. I do think it may not be your favorite sport, but I
Yeah,
think you're gonna put lacrosse in your back pocket and be like, damn, that's pretty sick. And I think you're gonna enjoy just like the technical aspect of it. If I had to put a prediction on it,
yeah. This would bump up their points for the lacrosse game. Doesn't have Chicky and Pete's there.
last year they did have Chickies and Pete's available, so that is something that
I'm
was
trying to
there.
like lacrosse a little bit. I'm trying to like a little bit.
Plus, like I think one of the cool aspects, there's always music playing. The PLL DJ Ralphie is elite. And I mean, it's fast. It like the pace of the game is perfect. There's shot clocks. Like it's very basketball like coded.
Good.
And there's big dudes that play in this league too. Like big bodies. It's gonna be fun. Plus, 3 out of the 4 games, night lacrosse is amazing. Like lacrosse under the lights is just awesome. And the fact that 3 out of the 4 games this weekend are under the lights at Villanova, you get Philly Boston to kick things off. It's going to be spectacular. I'm so pumped.
So
But yeah, if you're going to be at Villanova for PLL Philly for Water Dogs homecoming weekend, we're doing a live show on Saturday in between game 1 and game 2 in the Premier Zone when it opens back up. Going into game 2, we'll be in the Premier Zone. Come say what's up. Myself, DJ, holding it down. I'm hearing we might have some player guests. No guarantees, but there's rumors that we might get some players flooding into the show as well. So that's going to be a ton of fun. Jacob will be there. CFO Margie will be there running the cameras, like she always does. We love that. Looking forward to it. And like Philly weekend is just it's a staple. It's so much fun. Lacrosse, like Philly is a lacrosse city. Like there's so much like just talented players that come out of Philadelphia that are playing in the PLL right now as well. So very much looking forward to it. But if you're going to be at PLL Philly, come out to the live show. It'll be in the Premier Zone at Villanova, right in between game 1 and 2. Gear you up for Saturday night lacrosse between the Dogs and the Outlaws, which is going to be an awesome, awesome game. So looking forward to that and a whole lot more coming up this month. This month just keeps getting crazier and crazier at this company, I swear. We got a whole lot of stuff coming out over the next couple of days that you won't want to miss. So make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a 5-star review. And of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a new company, you're starting things up, looking to expand, relocate, or you're that new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. And as we've been mentioning, guys, go check out our friends Ritas in Sewell all summer long. 288 Egg Harbor Road. Don't miss out on any of the sweet treats coming out of Rita's in Sewell. And go get your delicious Rita. Last year too, Jacob, at PLL Philly, Rita's was there.
Your boy's getting fat this trip. I love it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, shout out to Rita's. And guys, this has been episode number 750. We're 3/4 of the way to a grand total of episodes. Absolutely insane. But this has been episode 750 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Jacob, I'm KB. We'll be back. Take you into a new week once again on Sunday. I'll be coming fresh off of the finale against the Blue Jays with my dad. So we'll talk about the Blue Jays series. We'll get Jacob's full-blown recap of his first PLL experience and whatever the hell else comes across the docket. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here, and we're signing off. Peace.